Hey Blueberinos, it's Keleas with Keleas.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy spring berry wreath that can be used actually all year long. If you've ever seen the gorgeous red berry wreaths at Christmas time, we're going to make our own version that you can use all year long. You guys, if you want to know more about our design school class and when it opens up twice a year, just text us the word LINK, L-I-N-K. Text us to 832-734-5201. Text us and we'll send you directly back all the information about getting in our design school class. And what we're going to do today is, it's simple recipe. This is a 14-inch wreath base, and then we're going to use 2 greeneries. You can pick any greenery. I picked a smaller leaf. This is a mini boxwood, which I think is super cute, and it's kind of a muted green. And then we're going with a cream berry, so we can use this all year long. You will need a little bit of Spanish moss. We're using our light green Spanish moss here to cover up any mechanics. And of course our electric glue skillet. So it's a little glue pot that we use to put glue in so we can easily rock and roll, okay? Now I'm going to take my wreath off to the side really quick. We're going to prep our materials. We actually used 3 berry stems, guys. I'm sorry, 3. I'm going to take this, and the berries are really easy to prep because you just take and pull them. I like to carry products that are wrapped in paper like this because they're super easy to work with. Just pull them, take the little papers off, and you don't have to do a lot of cutting. I've had a couple hand surgeries from over cutting, so I make sure that we try to eliminate as much cutting as possible. We don't want too much of that paper on the stem, so trim it off. I'll trim this one, and then we'll just put that in the garbage. And what I need to do is take, that one's fine, but I'm going to take and cut these wires just a little bit shorter and make them neat and clean. Just give them a little haircut here. Trim all those off, and there's all of our berries. Okay, so that's easy. Now let's prep our greenery. Here is our greenery bush, and I'm going to take each of these and just nip them off. I like to just nip them as long as they'll go. Okay, and these cutters, we get a lot of questions about them. These are mini bolt cutters. Okay, I'm going to trim those off, and there's all my greenery. Okay, so we've got our greenery and our berry. Now you can do this in any color for any season, of course. I'm picking a 14-inch grapevine, but you could go even smaller if you wanted. Now what we've got to do first is create our perimeter, and I like to take some of the largest pieces of the greenery. We're going to need 4. Okay, I'm going to get 4. This one's a little bit bigger, so we'll probably make that one smaller. 4 that are the same. So, well, that's a big one, that's a big one. You can even sort this out ahead of time. Okay, so I've got 2 really long ones. I'll put it over to the side because we'll probably cut those in half. All right, once you pick a direction, you're going to stay with it, meaning I'm going to go around this way. So once I do that, I'm going to stick with it all the way around. So we're going to put this piece in, and I'm going to kind of go towards the center here and just place it in. And I'm going to make sure I'm going into the grapevine, okay? And then I'm going to grab a little bit of moss. Anywhere I can see glue, I'm going to cover it with moss. Okay. Then I'm going to put one over here on this side. We're going to start to get some spacing started on our design, okay? And don't put them real close because we want to kind of pattern out. And if you get 4 pieces in, then you can start to kind of go between them. All right, so I'm just giving it a swirl in my glue right here. And we're going to stick with that direction. So once you pick a direction, you can see I continue to go around with it. All right, that's easy. Everybody can do that. Getting a good amount of glue on. And I'm just pressing it in. Okay? Good. Our 4 first pieces are on. Fantastic. And anytime I have glue, I'm hitting it with a little bit of my Spanish moss. So that big bag of moss we sell lasts a while because you only use a little bit at a time. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to come in between those with whatever my shortest pieces are of the boxwood. So I'm going to take my... So I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to go in between. 2, 3. Let's see. Hopefully I've got 4 short ones. I do. 4 short ones. I'm going to put that off to the side. And now we're going to come just directly in between. And I'm going to stay kind of towards the front of the grapevine. There you go. If you can't see the glue, you don't need to cover it. But if you can see any... Oh, I can see some here. I thought I was good, but I see a little bit here. Later, once you get some layers in, you'll find that covering the glue is even easier. Okay, good. All right, we're rocking our way around. Going in between each of the two sections. Now, listen, guys, we're popping berries in here, but you don't ever have to buy your own greenery wreaths again if you don't want to. You can make them out of whatever greenery you like. I mean, we're known on Keleas.com for so many different greeneries. Pick one out. I'd probably get 4 bushes just to be safe. And you can make your own lush, gorgeous wreaths. Look how pretty already. My gosh, guys, pop a bird's nest in, you're done. You're done. Throw a bow on it. All right, so I am going to add just a little bit more now. Remember how I said I'm going to take those long ones? I'm going to take these longest pieces and I'm going to divide them into little short guys, okay? Right here in the center. Just make a cut and then you have 2. So let's do that real quick. Alrighty, 1 and 2. Okay, now I'm going to take these, and going back to where our original ones were, our first 4, I'm just going to go right behind that one. And then I'm going to come a little bit to the center right now. Okay, our original one was here. I'm going to go right behind it. So I'm going to add a little bit of depth to the center and a little fullness there. Our original one, I'm going to go right behind it, and then one more over here. Don't worry about if it's not perfectly even. We can get one more over here. Once we put the berries in, we'll fill in with another layer. All right, there you go. There you go. Guess what? Berry time. Let's get on with the berries. So here is our 3 stems of berries, and we're going to take these. And you're going to start to couple them 2 berries at a time. Okay, like this. I'm going to hold it like a pencil and swirl it in my glue, and then we're going to come in. And I'm going to go in 4 places again. So 1, and I'm kind of staying towards the middle. There's 1. Here comes 2. Y'all, the dogs are going nuts. Such a pretty day, I was letting them be outside, but now you know why they can't be outside. They have to stay in until Mama's done videoing. 2. Okay. And we'll do 3 and 4. So just like we did our original greenery. Now I'm just trimming down the wires a little because they get so, they're a little bit longer than we need. So these berries are staying towards the center to start us off. And I love that you guys could use purple. You could use bright pink. Oh, can you imagine in the fall the oranges you could pick out? Oh my gosh, you could go to town. All right, let's bring this one. Put it in here, and I'm just pressing it into the wreath. Okay, looking good. And I've got a little bit gappy over here, but that's okay. We'll fill it in a minute. Now I'm going to go between each one of these, in between, and we're going to go longer with the berries now, longer. Okay, so don't trim them as much. I'm going to take 2, straighten them out, and we're going in between each. We're going to go a little bit more out to the outside. All right. So there's 2 going in. And now instead of going to the middle, going to the outside. How cute. This is a super cute combo, guys. So in between this section. So once you get your spacing done, it's really going to help you create the look you want. Okay, come into the outside. One over here. Between our 2 berries we put in. All right, take these 2. Let's put them in the next section. Right here. And you just work your way around. Now, anytime you can see the glue, you've got your moss to cover it, so don't worry. All right, here are these 2. I hope you're getting inspired to create your own. I hadn't even thought about, how about at Halloween? You could use just some bright colors. Just go to town. So much fun. Okay, I can see my glue on that one. Come back with my moss and cover it. All right. So we've got our first few layers done. All righty. Now, what I like to do is go between each now of the longer ones you just put in. So these out here, we're going to go between each of those, and we're going to kind of stay more to the middle. So I'm going to take and trim them a little bit shorter. We got them nice and short. And we're going to come into the middle. And don't worry if you have, see how I had to move that greenery out of my way? No big deal. We want it to look layered. Okay, so between these two, I'm going to go between. So we're really getting that lush berry look now. There's two. Now you can, I haven't been rotating the wreath here because I want you to be able to see where I'm putting them. But if I were just making this, I would probably be rotating it every time just to work right in front of me, okay? So know that that's totally normal. I just am trying to help you get the placement. Okay, we're going to go in between these two long ones. So every time you put two in, then you know you're going to go between them. Yeah, right there. That looks good. Let's keep on going. Here's two. So now I'm going to go between these two. Out to the perimeter. Yes, that looks great. And we know we're going to have to add a little bit more greenery over here to fill it in a little bit more. That's why we have those others there in reserve. Push that in. All right. And when you cluster the berries and every time you use them, you're using two, that helps you get better, more even coverage. So use that tip as much as possible you can in your designs. Always clustering your flowers even when you're bringing them back into your project. All right. Now I'm going to add a little more berries right in here just for fullness. I've still got some more left. And we'll just work around. Now on your project, you're going to have to take a look and see where you might have holes and fill in. You know, definitely pick it up, take a look at it, move it around. Gosh, this is so cute. You guys can make these in smaller versions for candle rings. You can totally just make them to go on top of pedestal candles. This is a wreath we're making for a door, but you can imagine all the ideas you could have. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more to the center just to kind of fill out the center right here. And now when you do your project, you're going to have to just look at it and say, okay, that looks like I need a little bit more white there. And I'm always telling my design school students, when you get done, take a step back from the wreath or your project, squint, and you can see where the color blocks are. And that'll help you know what you might need, where you might need to add a little bit more. But I'm trying to get the white really nice and solid here in the middle. I'm even going to separate these two. Okay. That's easy. You got it. I know you got it. Now, let's come back in. What we're going to need to do is add in the rest of the boxwood to fill in any holes. And so I need a little bit right up here. And you notice we stayed with the same direction every time, everywhere, every place. We did not change direction anywhere. Once we created a flow, like we stayed with it. All right, I need a couple more pieces out here just to fill this in. So I'm going to layer that. Maybe one more right here. And then I'm going to cut the other two pieces up and we're going to fill in. Yeah, that looks, oh, y'all, it's so gorge. So gorge. And you could buy more of any greenery to make it more lush. But if you make your stuff to sell, we know we've got to watch how much we're using because then we keep adding dollars to the finished price, right? All right, and don't be afraid to bend to get the flow you want. And if you want to make it the other direction, you can. Now I'm just filling in holes, and you see I cut it short so we can just pop these in, and we'll just make these pop towards the front. Oh my gosh, so lush and so full, guys. It's gorgeous. I totally cannot wait to see yours you make and try. Make sure you share with us. You know, give us a comment over on the blog if you tried one. We'd love to see it. See what you did, what you make. Share here on our Keleas page or let us know. You can always also send us a picture of your project that you made that you're inspired by to our text list at 832-734-5201 or textkeleas.com. But I cannot wait to see the wreath you make. This is a 14-inch wreath base. It's kind of the smallest size I like to work with, but you guys could go smaller if you wanted. Now this is our ivy stem that we're going to use to go ahead and create kind of the base for the entire wreath. And it's so easy to tear. You just take and tear those branches, and then you're just going to trim them off to about 1-inch stems. So I have 2 bushes of the ivy, and we're going to start by, basically in design school we call this shaking hands. That means you're just shaping out the pieces to go forward. You are going to need a little bit of Spanish moss close by, because that's how you're going to cover your glue. I'm a big advocate of covering my mechanics when I'm designing. So we're going to start to work our way around. I'm going to go a zigzag pattern. So we're going to start outside with one of the stems. Okay, and you see how you can see the glue? You're going to want to cover that. And you also, by adding that little bit of tension in there, you help support the stem. That's something I started doing years ago, guys. This is year 26 for me creating, designing, and having my own business. And so once I discovered how easy it was to work with that Spanish moss in there, I loved it, because it made it just so much easier to create like a little secure spot for all of your stems when they're going in the grapevine. So just take and push it in. It's going to cover the glue, but it's going to create some tension. We're going to work our way around. We're going to keep zigzagging. You're just going to go one stem at a time. So we go outside, then we go inside, and work our way around. Okay, and every time you get to that point, you're going to add a little bit of moss in there to create some tension. Here we go, working our way around. And this is going to create just a great foundation for all of the beautiful berries to go on top of. And make sure you're going into the vine. You want to kind of watch your perimeter too. There's a few steps here we're doing at the same time. I want to keep everything kind of consistent on that perimeter. And we'll work our way around. These are some of my favorite wreaths to make, because they're pretty quick and they're satisfying. And you would just be shocked how many of these you can sell, guys. Some of this type of design were my best sellers in my Etsy shop, because they are a neutral piece that can kind of work for every season. And it's really fun that the ivy is trending in something different, so we can play with some different greenery. All right, and once you pick a direction, here we're working clockwise, and you're going to see every stem we're going in is going in clockwise. That is another design principle we teach in design school, and it is about direction and direction changes and transition points, and very important in your wreath making, because it's going to help you have a consistent look, and it helps you with the lines. When it all comes down to it, the lines create the flow of the design, and they give you that natural, beautiful look. See how pretty? We ended up with 3 pieces in the middle, and we're going to have 1 more on the outside. And if you're not ready just to start putting them in like I am, you guys can stick them in blue merinos. You can stick them in and then come back and glue them. We had 4 of those bushes, and we broke them up into small pieces, and we did the same technique we did on the ivy. So what we're going to do first this time is we're going to work around our perimeter. And with the perimeter, what we want to do is we want to be putting all around the outside the white berries, and then we'll save more kind of to the inside in a moment. So you're going to be dipping these in your glue skillet. If you don't have a glue skillet, that's an electric skillet that's used for cooking. It's kind of a smaller one. And what we've done is we use it for hot glue. And you could do the same thing in your home. Once you use it for hot glue, that's what it's for. You can't go back to cooking in it, but it's a great tool. And you can see I'm not pulling any triggers or having to do repeated movements. I can just put things right in them. So if you are making a lot of wreaths, it's just a really super easy way to do it. So I'm going to start off with putting 3 in each section out here on the outside. If you don't need to cover it with glue, if it goes in nice and tight, then you can put the Spanish moss on. We're gluing each piece in, but you don't have to put the Spanish moss if you don't want to. And these are going to go in the background of our design. So in design school, I'm always going to teach you about the foreground and the background and what's going in the middle zone of the wreath. All of that's important to kind of draw the eye in or out or up or around, depending on the lines we're creating. So right now we're going in the background, and the neat thing is all of the components and pieces we sell on Keleas.com are all great pieces that are wired. They're going to have beautiful, easy to manipulate wires inside each piece that make it so much easier to design. You see how I just brought that ivy up? Like, all of that is just priceless when it comes to making your work quality. You want your work to be quality, not only so your house looks beautiful, but if you decide to sell your pieces, if you want to get in and learn Etsy with us and learn how to market yourself better on all the social media, and come and join us in business coaching and in our design school, these little details matter, okay? Because we can teach you how to market and do all the things, but your product's gotta be at a good caliber so we can hopefully have a great demand for it. And set yourself apart. Even if you're one of our craft show students, we have a lot of students who do craft shows, and the way they set themselves apart is by coming and joining design school and learning designs that are not made with things from the big box stores. So when they set up their booth and their competition is right next to them, they're smoking them because it's not the same look, it's not the same thing. And people want to have beautiful homes, but not everybody wants to look cookie cutter and be exactly the same. So think about that when you're producing your designs. So I'm working out here to the outside. I'm going around right here. I'm working between. I'm trying to put 3 pieces of the berry in between each piece of ivy, the way we have it spaced. If I can, if it looks right. You may get 2 or 3. Either way is fine. You could always also, till you feel comfortable, remember, you can take and just totally lay it out and then come back and glue. Remember, I've got a 26-year head start on you. So I'm going to be able to glue it in right as we're rocking and rolling, okay? Now I'm just turning some of these leaves forward and kind of looking at my spacing. So we did the perimeter. Now I'm ready to come to the inside. And you can see how I'm moving everybody up. They were flat when we started. Now everybody's moving up and they're reaching out and they have this dimension. And you're going to see, you might have already seen on the finished images of this wreath, that's important and it really matters. Now I'm going to put 2 in the middle, they're going to be placed in the middle, but they're going to kind of go to this middle zone, okay? And when I say 2, I'm going to try to put 2 between each piece of greenery. But let's just start with 1, okay? Let's just start with 1 behind each greenery right here, because you got to get to a spot where it can sit in the grapevine too. We're going to just start with 1 in each section. Then I'm going to come back and start to put more than 1, okay? So right now we're kind of working in the middle, and I am going kind of manipulate that grapevine. Get in there with your finger, separate it if you need to, like I needed to get in there. Let's keep working. You notice I just keep spinning the wreath. That's so I can just keep working, going the same direction, not losing my flow. I just spin it around. And I'm making this on a table with you today, but you guys can make this on a wreath stand if you want to make it in front of you. That I always like doing too. Okay, there's 1 piece between every one, but you can already see we're going to need some more in here on this side. So we're going to work our way for another round around. Round and round and round we go. Okay, and lay that ivy right on top of it and just manipulate the leaves. Let's put 1 back here. So get it a little thicker. So this is when you're going to start to try to even it out a little. We've been fairly precise, but not too much. We're still just kind of free forming. So it doesn't look like it's machine made. It looks like it's handmade. Like someone took time. There's some art and design in here when they put it together. Okay, see how I'm working? I really feel like I need a little more ivy over here. And remember, we saved those pieces from earlier. And if you hadn't done that yet, you can go steal some pieces from some of the longer pieces and just make your own little cluster. I'm taking those 3 pieces, we're clustering them together. We're gonna get them with a little glue, and I'm gonna go right in here. And we're gonna put this little bit of ivy right in here. Perfect. And that'll break up those berries a little. Nice, perfect. All right, now we've got about 6 or 8 pieces left, and I want you to work those right in the middle. Now we work the inside, we work the outside. Now start going through and get right in the middle. And remember, if you can see the glue, you got to grab that moss. See, there's a little hole right here. We're going to go in it. And you don't have to be like precise per se, guys, because you don't mind if some of the grapevine shows that in this design. It's a natural, fun look. So we're going to work all the way around until we feel like we've got no big gaping holes. None of our glue is showing. We got this beautiful movement. You see all that? That's going to move when a little breeze hits the front door. That's so refreshing. And this look can stay on a door really all year long. There's some people who don't do anything seasonal, and this will work great for them. And then for others, they just want something up, you know, right after holidays. They want to be able to switch them out, and this is just a great solution for that. I've got about 3 more pieces. Just kind of going in these little holes. Just keep spinning it around. And the main thing here is, you see, once we chose that clockwise direction, we stayed with it. We did not vary off that, because that would look so confusing with all these wispy pieces. It would look like a wild, you know, wild reeds that haven't really blown with the wind. They've kind of gone all the directions. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is turning out so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I love it. It's so full. That makes it so fun. So we used 4 of these bushes. We have the whole supply list for you on Keleas.com. You can ask for it here or text us at 832-734-5201. You just want to text us the word list, and it'll shoot you all the most recent supply lists. If there's any on there that are password protected, that's because that's for design school students who have, whenever I put out something new, they get first access to the supplies. So if you see that, just know that's for design school. And the others are available for those who aren't students to just jump in and give it a try. Look how gorgeous. Way to dress up like this beautiful design we've made and make it look a little bit different is to add a bow. And the 3-loop bow that we just showed you how to make is just perfect for this. And I like to put it down here at about 7, 8 o'clock. If you think about the clock hands on the wreath, they look just lovely poked right into here. So just take, you've got your cable tie right there, just take and reach down and go between a few pieces of the greenery down here and grab some of the grapevine. Just kind of move some stuff out of your way. You don't need a whole lot of, you don't have to put it down deep or grab all of this. Just move it out of your way a little. And then grab a little of that grapevine. The cool thing is you can put this loose or tight, however you want it to look. I'm going to get it tight so we can kind of tuck it in there. Then just cut off that little tail end. And this, you know, we're adding this to this wreath to make it look beautiful, and it's part of our design. But literally, you can dress up an older wreath you have so easy by doing this also. So this is kind of one of those tips that you can use in a number of ways. And did you see how I let some stuff overlap it? In design school, we call that breaking the plane, and it's an important part of our design because we like our pieces not to look like they're just set in, but like they're part of the design and they flow together. And then just take a couple minutes and curl up your tails. Just do some nice little curls. And those will flow beautifully down into your design. And look how sweet that is with the bow and the curls, just adding that little touch to the finished design. Isn't that adorable? We're getting ready to make our newest kit, and this time we're going to make a really neat swag. The swag base this time is a really super full bush, and it's got a nice sturdy base. So we actually, instead of using this as a long grass bush or a tree, this way, we're going to turn it over and make it a swag this way, which makes it really full and lush when we get ready to create this design. In this kit, you're going to get a couple of bushes of these beautiful, they are a hydrangea leaf with berry bush. That's going to go great with our grasses. You're going to get a couple of these, and then you're going to get 2 rolls of ribbon to do your bow also. So it's loaded with fun. You can use this any way you want, but we're going to show you how to make a swag with it. So starting with our base, I want you to think about your bow and how much space the bow is going to take up. And I'm going to have the bow right in this area, kind of in this general area. But I want a little of this greenery kind of going upward. So take a few of these stems, like a nice little cluster, and just shift it upward. It's that simple. Just shift it upward. Take a few on this other side and shift it upward, okay? Now we've kind of got a little bit of that greenery at the top, which I love that. Now what I want you to do is flip it over and make this into a simple little hanger just by giving it a twist and giving it a loop. Okay, now you have a hanger and you have your greenery going upward. And we're going to be able to secure that a little bit more going upward with the cable tie and a little bit when we put the bow on, but we don't need to mess with it quite yet. Okay, we're going to use a full bush at the top. This is just an easy way to do this. Now you're going to shake hands with this to kind of make sure everybody has their own space. You want to really want to utilize all this beautiful wired greenery and berries. Now I'm going to do the same thing I just did on that swag, and we're going to bring some leaves down. We're going to bring a little berry down, especially this little dangly berry because I love that one dangling. So bring that down, another leaf down. And so the idea is this part will kind of work out of the bow, and this part up here will work above the bow. So right where we just made that other little area, you're going to set that right in. And remember, I told you, don't worry, we're going to cable tie that in. We're going to put that all in. Now, today, you could use wires if you wanted. I'm using cable ties. They're my favorite. And I'm using white, so it kind of camouflages in there. And I'm going to take all that good stuff right here we just talked about, and we're going to tie that in really tight. Okay? So get it going. And, oh, it slid down a little. Slide it back up. Dang it, I'm going to have to put another one. I wanted to hold those top pieces a little better. It's okay. We've got plenty of them. I'm going to go a little higher. Let's go a little bit higher here so we can hold that all clustered. All right. The bow is going to be right here, so you're not going to see any of this. Don't fret. And if you are worried about it slipping once you get it on, I want you to just take your wire cutters like this and pull it a little tighter, and then you can always tack a little glue right there, and we'll do that in just a second. So we squeeze it pretty tight, like we put a girdle on this puppy. We squeezed it in. It's like a can of busted biscuits right now. It's busting out of there, but I want you to fluff all that because that's really important. Now you're going to still use all those wires that I talked about, and you're going to utilize them to spread all this out. There you go. And really be deliberate. You know how I feel about the backs of leaves. Flip those around. We want to try to see the fronts if we can. Okay. And this was the pretty part I talked about coming out of the bottom of the bow. And yes, that'll work just fine right there. Okay, right in the center. And we'll play with that a little bit more when we get our bow on in a minute. Because I want to make this nice and lush and full as we go down. We're going to take our next bush. It's the same bush again. You're going to get 2 of these bushes in this swag. This is like a really lush, beautiful, long swag. I mean, it's super high quality, and I think you're going to love that. Now, I want to take a section of this and just pull it up. This is a great beginner project because you can learn how to manipulate these pieces. Or, you know what, if you just like this look, you can make the swag really simple, and you can use some of these other pieces somewhere else in your home. Okay, so I'm going to tuck this up in here, and you see how I made it nice and full by just tucking it in there. That's all we did. Layered it and tucked it. Now grab your other cable tie, and we're going to attach that heavy duty wire that's right here to the base wire. And if I kind of do that here in the back, you will not see it. I'm going to go under all these berries. I love this swag base because it's got the greatest berries in there. All right, I'm doing that. I'm going to cut off the excess stem here so we don't have to worry about that. And we talked about putting a little glue on there earlier, so I'm going to pull out my glue skillet here. And this just will keep stuff from sliding around. I'm just going to take and put a little glue here. I'm going to tuck this little, you know, the pointy part, like the little chunky part of the cable tie. I'm going to tuck that in, just like that. And then I'm going to take and just put a little greenery right over it. You never saw it. Up here, the bow will be, so you'll be good. There's our little hanger. So I'm just going to tuck a little bit on there and a little bit there, and that's good to go with our glue. All right, glued in, ready to go. So easy. You're following so far. I know you can do this. Now I'm going to turn it back around. These swags are some of my favorite pieces to put in my Etsy store, to make for gifts. They make great things to make with a group because they're very simple, but it's very elegant when you get done. All right. Next step, that bow. And if you need to know how to make the bow, we'll have the link for you on the supply list for this particular project. Or you can ask here in the comments and we'll get you the link for the bow. But we already have it made, so I'm going to magically bring that over and we're going to put her in. She's a big, gorgeous bow. You can see how pretty she is. And she's going to go right here into that zone we left. So we're going to go ahead and tie her on there right now. Right here at the top. And then we aren't going to be quite done after this. We're going to have to get the tails in. And then I want to do a little detail work. It's all about the details, the depth, the dimension, and the direction. All that matters. I'm going to trim that off. If you ask design school, they'll tell you Keleas is not playing when it comes to the detail work. Okay, I'm going to bring this down in the back, this long sail on this side. Now take this one on this side and come to the inside. So the big long tails, they're partying at the back, right? Party on, dudes. Okay, they're in. Now I'm going to come to the front where we have our regular neutral ribbons, and these are partying in the front. And the reason we chose that is because we want the 4 inches to be, you know, kind of a foundation piece. And you see how pretty it's coming? Yeah. And you're going to fluff these out. And when you see the finished images, or you might have seen them before you came to this video, you're going to see how important that is. But isn't that beautiful? Now, you'll notice we have kind of like a little zone in here that's a little empty. So we're going to go steal a few pieces from down here and work in that middle zone. So I'm going to start with like this one right here is like a big old hydrangea leaf stem. We're going to take it out. I love that one. That's a really pretty one. And then let's swipe a little bit of this dangly berry, always my favorite. Let's take a little of that one. And let's take one really big leaf. Which side do we want to take it from? How about we just take it from this one right here? So we literally just stole 3 pieces out of there is all we did. And we're going to work them into this middle zone right here. So just pull that ribbon apart. And we're going to just glue these in very nicely into all this beautiful berry grass, because you're never going to know it's there, because this just hides everything so good. So we're going to take our first leaf. I'm going to dip it into the glue pot. Get a little glue on it. And we're going to go right here in the middle. Perfect. And we already have these fun pieces going here. And let's layer some grass kind of over that leaf so it blends in nicely. And then this little ivy leaf I'm going to take out too, because that'll go good right here. Hold that off to the side. Okay, let's get this flat piece. We'll put it kind of in the middle. We get a lot of glue on it. I'm going to tuck it right in there. Perfect. Now my dangly berry right down the center. So basically you just go in there, you steal a couple of these other pieces, then you push the grass around to hide the glue and some leaves. And now it looks like a really full, loaded, beautiful loaded. I'm going to go up by the bow with this one too and just glue that to the back of the bow. Beautiful loaded design. And we're going to do a little more detail work around the bow because I want to add a little bit more in there to break the plane of it. So let's grab these berries. I'm going to tuck those in here. Yes. Look at that. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? I think it's stunning. I love it, y'all. Oh my gosh. And wait till you see how pretty these tails look going down your door. Come on. You know you want to watch. Let's get started. Okay, Blue Merinos, we're going to start off with a wreath base, and then we're going to add some gorgeous greenery to kind of shape out our design. So I'm using something a little different today. This is a ginkgo leaf. I love the way this looks. It is a really neat greenery to use, especially for spring, because it kind of looks like cabbage leaves, and it gives this really gorgeous, like neat green texture, and they're just really cool. So we're going to put this in first to kind of shape out our base. We're going to cut down our bush. We're going to need some wire cutters and trim them right off your bush. Just like this. So I'm going to get started here by putting these in. And I'm going to start kind of and decide what shape do I want my piece to be. And for me, I just like to work on the left side. So I'm going to do that right now. So every time I put in a piece, I also have to come in and add a little Spanish moss to cover up my glue. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to make a little Spanish moss ball and put it in there right on my glue. I'm just going to kind of start to separate it and put these pieces in. It kind of fans out really fun like this, and we can start to put these pieces in right here. I'm going to go this way I am really excited about working with this color palette with all the purples. If you've never designed or worked with purples, you're going to be shocked. There's a lot of people who love purple, the color. So they want it for their home. They want it for their accents and their seasonal pieces. And you can go anywhere from the deep purples to the lavenders. It doesn't have to be trending. It can just be that some of your customers will like that. And when you're going into the spring or early summer, I think purple's a lot of fun. So I'm going to kind of come down here, keep adding a little bit more. And you want to shape out each of your stems when you're using it. See how these are just so pretty, organically pretty? I'm going to keep bringing them in. How about to right here? I'm going to go to right here. And then I'm going to just kind of change direction in a second so we can go the other way. Let me put this one in. So we got this nice little flow going up and around. And one of the things you'll have to learn as you start to design more is you have to kind of draw people's eyes in different directions. And how are you going to do that? So that's one thing I like to teach in designs. Let's bring one more in. I think we'll go right here. Okay. Really, really pretty. So we got a great base of the ginkgo in. I like that. It's looking good. I'll put my Spanish moss in there. Let's put one more maybe up here for a little height. And we're going to have some left. So that's good because you're going to want to have some greenery left from your 2 bushes so you can come in and add it to different locations as you start to put your design together. All right, come on in, buddy. Let's put a little bit more moss in here. So I use the moss to hold the glue, but also to hold space in the wreath sometimes, because that kind of secures your pieces really nice. And it's a technique I've used for years, and I love it. Now, you're gonna grab your next stem, and it has berries. It has like a little of like a hydrangea cluster, and then a really nice fern. This is such an easy stem to work with. These are great. I'm gonna take and separate it out, and we're gonna cut it into 3 different pieces. So I have 2 of these, and I'm gonna cut them to 3 sections. Cut it down, baby, down. I'm doing about, I usually like to cut them to about 3-inch stems. You see how here I'm separating it? Just cut it, and you get that nice little cluster on its own. Don't be ever afraid to cut up these stems into different pieces, because you can make them go so far. And definitely shake hands with this. If you don't know what shake hands means, that is a term I use in design school. What it means is we're going to take and we're going to use all these great wires. You know, I only work with nice quality florals that really hold up well for my customers. And so I really like to shape it all up. You want to use the wires that are in there. Okay. Now, these berries and these little hydrangea clusters on here, they're going to work like our main flower in this. It's going to be different. It's going to have this real natural look. So I need to have good distribution of these over the whole design. So I've got to think about them when I start to put them in. Now, notice how fun this is. Like, this reminds me kind of like a wisteria, how it comes and trails over. So these kind of pieces are great to use on the edges right here, where it can trail over and out. So I'm going to go right into my glue over here, and then I'm going to bring it in over here to the side. If you don't know what a glue skillet is, I'll be happy to share our video with you about that, so you can learn all about a glue skillet and have your own. But that's what you see me dipping them into, kind of off camera, right over here. Okay. Now I got another little hangy one. Man, I love these hanging ones. I love anything that hangs or trails or is curvy. If you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, so I'm going to use this one kind of opposite down here. Now, our flow goes up and over. So I need that hang to match that up and over look. So I can't just stick it in down there. I've got to have it kind of come in here to go up and over, or up here. And I'm going to go, I think, right here. Oh, I love this. I love this. Putting my glue on, I'm going right in this section right here. And make sure you're coming behind and you're double checking that you have plenty of moss in there. Now see how quickly it's coming together? When you work with good quality materials, things build up faster. There's a lot less labor involved. Now I'm working with the pretty berries. Look at this. I'm shaping it up. I want to get some little bit of shape going on. And we're going to put one of these right here, kind of going up into this area. I gave it a swirl in my glue. And now I'm coming right in here. I'm going to fluff out. Oh, you see those ginkgo leaves going to work on this? This is pretty. Pretty. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's come down and up in the next section. So I'm going to use this one right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Shake hands. My big pet peeve is leaves being backwards. So I'll work hard to try to keep them from being backwards. I'll flip them around. I hate it when they're backwards. Ugh. All right, and I'm going to come right down here. So we got a great distribution so far. Good spacing on here. We're doing excellent. I like the look we're creating. Make sure you come back over that glue with Spanish moss. I'm going to tuck it in there, and I'm going to hide the glue, but then I'm also going to use it to get in there and hold it in place. That looks really good. And these are such great wired stems. You can pull them out, and you want to do that because you want to create depth, because that means you're going to be able to sell your wreaths for more if you're a seller, or if you are making them for yourself, your wreath's going to be unlike anybody else has in the block. And when you create all this depth, it's going to make your little heart so happy every time you walk past it. That's what I like. All right, we have these smaller ones. So I'm going to take this one, and it's going to tuck right here, right to the side of that ginkgo, and I'm going to try to be neat and clean when I put this one in, because I kind of have a termination point for my florals over here, and I don't want it to be too messy. So I'm going to try to tuck it in, make it kind of pretty, just like that. And what I'm going to do is take this little piece, we're going to cut that off, and we're going to use it to hide the glue so it's a little prettier right here. So I'm going to just trim it off. We're going to put a little glue on the back. And we're going to go just right on that place. I'll put a little glue right there. And we're going to just let this lay right on top. Watch your glue strings if they're getting you. Got a pretty good one there. All right, and so that has a nice starting point to flow from. We can always add more greenery, and we'll work on a little detail there, but I want to make sure I had a bigger piece to hide the mechanics of the glue there. And then we're going to use this last piece right in here. So I've got a good flow of purple, and I've got my white, and I've got my good berries working all the way up. I could even divide this into two if I wanted. And I could put a little more of the, one of them up there, split it, and have a little bit here and a little bit there. I think I'll do that. Oh, this is such a fun one. If you're a purple lover, let me know in the comments, because usually I'm always so amazed. My design school students will be like, I love purple. We have a lot of people who love it. And they're ready to work with it every time we do. All right, let's come up here. We'll go in this section. And we're going to put that berry. And I just kind of went between those two little places. Looks good. Now, before we get to the twiggy part, we're going to put the grasses in. I want you to step back and look for holes right now. And so that means you're going to look out on the shape of your design. And then wherever we have like a little hole, like here, we need a little bit more greenery in here. That's where we're going to bring some more greenery in. And we're going to start to kind of check the inside and check the outside. You're going to want to do both. Just check that line. So when you're checking the line, you're stepping back from your work and your design, and you are looking at the perimeter and the inside. If the inside of your wreath is open, you want to make sure you are giving it a good line. A really good line. I'm going to bend that one out. There we go. Oh, perfect. Let's put a little bit on the outside here. And I'm taking a little bit of care on the perimeter right here, because this is where our wreath starts and it goes around. I don't have direction changes in this design, so it's a little bit different. It's fun. It's fun to do these. I'm going to tuck this one up and underneath. Oh, you want to make sure it's going into the grapevine, not just going through the back. Perfect. See how pretty it looks down there now? It looks good. Yeah, that looks great. Come on in here, buddy. All right, now let's go up into here and add a little bit more in there. So this process will continue on until you are happy with what you are seeing. Let's go right in there. Oh man, and then we're gonna make it wispy. We're gonna make it wispy next. I'll get so excited. All right, let's come to the top. Let's go to the top, and I'm gonna trail over with these. Come bring these over. I'm gonna bring this one in right here. Oh yeah. And then let's do one just a little bit higher above. And I'm gonna have one piece left from my ginkgo bush, and I think I'm gonna hold on to it just to make sure I don't need to fill in anywhere else, you know, at the last minute in case there's some little area I need it. This right here is a gorgeous wreath, guys, which is 2 supplies from Keleas.com, and we haven't even got to the next level, so we got more to go. But I love it already. Now we're to the grass part. So we're gonna put the grass or the twig or sometimes the filler flower. In this case, this is gonna work like a double doozy. So in design school, we talk about filler flowers and grasses and why we're using them. And here we're using this as 2 for 1. So you're gonna take this, and it's easy to work with because all you gotta do is just take and cut these down into sections. If you tear them, then that just goes a little faster, a little bit easier on your hands. And you can save this wire for other projects you have going. Once you do that, you do have to kind of trim up the ends. All right, just make them neat and clean. You always have to make them neat and clean, otherwise they're gonna have a mess. We're ready to start putting these in. Our flow starts here. So you wanna start here and work all the way up, and I want a little of this drama everywhere in here. I don't wanna just have it just in one spot. I might actually start up and work down. So that way I make sure I get the drama at the top. So let's go in here. Come on, drama. I love putting twigs in, and flowering twigs and grasses are beautiful. So I'm gonna bring my first piece in, and I'm gonna manipulate it, give it all that movement we talk about. So important. Now this functions as its own little drama here. So we're gonna kind of let that hang there. We're gonna come a little bit down. It's got its own cool drama. I've never had a berry or a twig that I didn't like. Pretty much. Never. Okay, we're gonna push this one in. This one's gonna go right here. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna work a third one. How about a third one in more to the, maybe to the outside right here. Okay? Isn't that pretty? And we're kind of creating this line that's coming down on the outside. You know, like a horse's mane? That's what we're kind of doing right now. Bring this one down a little bit more. So pretty. And all of these grasses are working to the outside. And that way, this keeps this very interesting, very different. And like, we want it to be different than you could just pick up at your local store. We want it to have flavor. And we want to say we made it ourselves. And we, you know, you can make your own designer wreaths. You don't have to go buy them. If you want to make your own, we're here to show you how. Let's bring one more into here. Now, if the idea of this just being on the outside just totally freaks you out, Klee, I have to have some from the inside. That's okay. Go ahead. You cut yours a little bit shorter and put some from the inside. But I am going to keep mine all on the outside here. Try to keep people's eyes just going, whoa, so pretty. I'm gonna put this leaf here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're gonna put number 6 kind of coming over the front. Still working on that outside, but just coming over here. Now, if you wanted to do this and you wanted to keep going all around, you could just get one more bush of everything and you would be set. You could come and complete the circle. I love making things asymmetrical like this. So, beautiful, beautiful. Fantastic. Let's rock and roll. Get started. So I'm going to put a little greenery around. Oh, we got to put the hanger on. I keep saying that and don't do it. I am so bad about hanger and I have to put it in. Hi, Brenda. Aw. Stacy, what time's the workshops are? I believe the first video is at 10. Check in the workshop Facebook group because it's got the real schedule. I I'd look at that right before. I've got everything planned out, but I'm not sure of the exact times. Nicole and I planned it all out, and I'm like, I don't know how long ago that was already. Oh, you sent me some roses? Thank you so much. Oh, I love that they send me flowers. I mean, stars are cool too, but you know, flowers is a little more on brand for our business, right? Hi, Joan. You love that bow? I know, that bow's a good one. Yay, Patricia, great. I hope you can come hang out with us live. If you can't be there live, you know, it's no problem. Everything's available. You're even entered into all the contests if you're not there live. But it is fun to be there live, so I can chill with you. This bunny, Jessica, is a purpley blue. She's kind of like a purple blue. She's really pretty. She's really pretty. Yay! Lisa, I'm glad you're a blue merino. I'm so glad you are. All right, it's on. Can everybody see? Everybody can see good. I know, we're going to have so much fun. Okay, it is 10 a.m. Central. Hello over from Australia. Good to see you. Okay, we're going to pop in that greenery we cut up first. Got a lot of cameras going, a lot of things happen, a lot of comments, but I'm here. I'm a talker. I like to, used to, before my page went down with Facebook, I would have like hundreds of comments coming in fast, when we have a lot of people watching, and I like, it was challenging for me, and I loved it. Hi, Linda. Good to see you too. So now you guys are doing that again. You're challenging me. Can I catch all the comments? Of course not, but I'm going to try. All right, let's get in here. Let's get this wildflower wreath popping. I'm going to put these in. This is that really bright green. We used this for the first time last year on a watermelon wreath we did, and I loved it because it's like a fuchsia, really bright. Is fuchsia green, I think? Is that pink? No, it's pink. Y'all know the term for bright green. It's blue. It's blue purple. All right, let's do this a little bit different. Let's come up a little here. Let's get wild. I'm going to put a little Spanish moss. Oh, hey, I did get confirmation the Spanish moss is on the way. So I know a lot of y'all have been asking. It's coming. So it really is coming now. It's not the, yay, it's coming. No, it's not. It's really going to be here. Lime green. Yeah. Isn't there a term for green that's like this bright, shocking green? Lime does a good description. Hello, Molo. Hello, Molo. Good to see you. Was it watermelon or pumpkin, Darla? That's wrong. That's wrong. Darla's giving me a hard time, right? Chartreuse, Kathy. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Chartreuse. Yeah. We gotta have the fancy color names, y'all. So I'm gonna get this spread around a little here. Get a lot of green popping. Try to. Without throwing it on the ground. I was telling Nicole the other day, y'all, Nicole's my assistant. She's the one answering all your questions, helping out so amazingly. That I've got to get more room in here for all the cameras. That's why I'm like backed into the corner trying to get it straight. But we'll get there. That means I've got to clean the bloom room. And y'all know, that is not the fun part, right? The fun part is making, not cleaning. But it'll have to be done at some point. Neon, close. Yeah, neon green. Lime green, Vicky? That works. That works. Hey, I wanted the big fancy words today. Why not? Anyway, it's really bright. It's like the bunny back here, really bright green. So I thought it would pop really good with all the other pieces we're putting on here. So let's get this in. I think I'll put this maybe right here. So I've got a kind of a great distribution on there of green popping. You guys check it out. Okay, I've got it spread out. I just used one of those bushes. Kind of a little bit of greenery. We're not going to need a ton of greenery because we have picked out floral. Remember, this is our inspiration piece. We've picked out floral that is just totally every color. See how pretty? Gosh, this is so pretty. Right, Claudette? You get me in the corner. Dangerous. Okay, so we know our bow is pink, so we really want to be popping the pink, and we picked out these. They called these, what did they call these? Peach blossoms, and they're just really, really bright pink. So we're going to put those in next too. Ask Alexa to clean up. Great idea. Rhonda, the supply list for the Bunny Workshop is when you're in the Facebook group for the Bunny Workshop. It's up there in the units, and the password's there for you. If you cannot find it, we can tag you in that post. So just send an email to info@Keleas.com and we'll help you. Cleaning is no fun, I know. Right? Oh, is it translating to Spanish? Are you speaking Spanish? Hola, Stacy. Oh, man. So let's get some of these peach blossoms in here. I'm going to give them a little bend. I haven't not played with these. My first time playing with these. So let's get these in. I think I'm just going to use them full pieces. So let's pop a little above and below the bow. I wish we could ask Alexa to clean up. That would be nice. Jessica, yeah, you'll get a supply list for tonight. And we just finished the supply list from last night, too. So, yeah, you'll have all that for tonight. You will. Hey, lady, good to see you. Let's pop this in. Okay, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to kind of split between the bright green up here. I'm shooting it off pretty far, guys. Pretty far. I have a hanger on the wreath, but I'm currently not using it. So just watch if it starts to rotate on you. You hate to lose the center of your design halfway through the building of it. And you're like, okay. Oh my gosh. All your captions are in Spanish. Hilarious, Stacy. That's all right. Probably the language got switched somehow. Good luck. You know, this weekend I had to do a lot of Googling on how to do stuff. Mainly, you know what it is, and some of you might relate to this if you have kiddos or teenagers or grandkids. It was those little charges on your phone trying to figure out where they're going, what they're for, if my daughter's using them anymore. That was a lot of Googling. Hi, Georgie. Alexa does no cleaning for us, right, Linda? She does not. I mean, she's useful, but we could try Hey Google. See if that's coming through a little bit better. Hey, it depends what platform I'm on, what we're saying. You know, some places we're going to be all Alexa, some places we're going to be Hey Google. Yeah, you got to play the game. All right, so I've got those popping in really nice and bold. And pay attention. Like, look. They're kicking off there. Like, this is a party. Already, 2 colors. Pink and green. Now we're going to put in the purple. Let's pop some purple. This is our sweet pea stem. I love this stem. Oh, I love it in every color. I think we have it in yellow. And I don't know if we have any left in pink, but we have yellow for sure. We're going to use the purple in here. These stems are actually pretty good. You can use them for hangers too. They got a good bend to them. So I like to hold on to those. Oh! Siri told you she doesn't get paid enough to clean? Oh my gosh, true. True, Siri. I don't blame her. Siri's like, you're going to have to hire somebody else for that, Stacy. Nate needs to get in there and clean in. Nate's like, I've got homework. If you tell the kids they have to do cleaning, I don't know if y'all do that, it's all said they have homework. Oh, I've got to do some homework, you know? There's one tag. Oh, there's 2 tags on here. Let me get these tags off. These are way at the top, so I have to be careful or I'll cut off the flower. Just a second. Don't you love it? Hey, Carolyn. Good to see you. Glad you're hanging out. I hope you got that shelf put back. Carolyn posted the other day that a shelf of flowers fell over, and I thought, oh, Lord. It's going to be so much to clean up. Hey, Tammy. Tammy? Oh, bet it all on red, Tammy. Hello, Miss Wreath Purpose. Good to see you over here. Okay, we're putting in the sweet pea now. Let's pop these in. And I'm trying to kind of evenly distribute out our purple. So we get a nice spread of color. Basically, because this is going to be a whole collection of colors. I am going to end up loving this. I believe it. I'm going to believe it. Michelle, the kids get sleepy, right? Hey, Ramona. Yeah, if you say you got homework, it's like, oh, I'm asleep now. Gotta go to bed. It's my bedtime. Oh, sure. Sure it is. All right, let's put a little Spanish moss on here. If you're new, I'm putting Spanish moss on top of the glue. So I use that to kind of sandwich it in. I did do a TikTok about that today. So if you guys over here on TikTok didn't see it, you can see it up close of what I'm doing with that. I got to catch all the TikTok people up on the Blue Merino Speak. I've been on Facebook for a long, long time, but I get to get you all the lingo. Oh, right. There are so many dang Apple charges. You have no idea what they are. Yeah. You thought the grandkids got your number, Linda. I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. Well, you know, you say yes to this and yes to that, and then you're like, okay, what is this at $7.99 for anymore? I don't even know. Okay, that's looking really pretty. Look how pretty that is. Okay, let's come in above with the purple too. So I'm just keeping a little bit above, a little bit below. Thank you. I'm glad you like it already. I think it is going to be really pretty. Hey, Stella. Jessica says, and they have to go to the bathroom. Yes, teenagers have to go to the bathroom when it's cleaning time and all of that. Y'all, my sister was the queen of that when we were growing up. And she would have to go for a while. Jan says, it's cleaning is so rewarding when it's done. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. I mean, even at the warehouse, as new stuff's been coming in, we've been purging out older things. You know, we try to have new sale items monthly, so we have some new items that we discount. And it's nice to get the old out and the new in and straighten it up. It is rewarding. Absolutely. You guys, if you want to be on our text list, you're going to text to our phone number up in the description, or go to textkeleas.com. Text us the word live and you'll get live alerts whenever we're live. Now, I don't know that our live alert has delivered yet. I haven't seen it pop up yet. If anybody got it, let me know. Sometimes there's stuff out of our control, but we try to let you know when we're live. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Isn't that gorge? You guys over here, you see it starting to develop? Pink, purple, green. So pretty. Okay, we've got some more colors to bring in. Let's see. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Hello, Nelson. Good to see you. Hey, Shelby. Glad you're here. Okay, of course, I've got a little purple, a little cream, and yellow left. These are very long, so I need to think about having them place out here towards the perimeter. These are gorgeous purple. And then these are those mini daisies, and I'm addicted to these. These were also in the subscription box. I don't know if they were yellow or white, but you got the text alert? Fantastic, because I wasn't sure if it was working. I never saw it come through on my phone yet. So I was like, is it working tonight? Good. Thanks for letting me know. Just right for Easter? It would be. It would be totally. I'm thinking, I've been trying to create some pieces that are Easter kind of colors, but people can leave them up. You know, they don't necessarily have a bunny on them. Now, a cross could stay up all the time, but, you know, Easter bunny would be a little more, you know, Easter specific as far as the rabbit goes. But I think it's a good idea to think about that if you're making your wreaths to sell in a shop or craft shows. I'm just pushing these up, guys. I like to get those, just like last night, if you watched when I made the purple wreath, I like to get these leaves up to kind of cuddle my blooms. Okay, good. You guys, I'm so glad the text alert's working. If you guys over here on TikTok are not on the alert yet, you might want to get on there. Just textkeleas.com, and it's a text messaging service, so I own it, so I don't have to worry about if anything disappears. I can tell you where I'm at. We had that happen before a few years ago, so you guys were like, where's Keleas? And I was like, I don't know what happened. Thanks, Vicky. Ronnie, you got it late? Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing what's going on with mine. All right, let's get some pops of white in here. And I'm going to really cluster these up. Remember, we're thinking wildflower. We're thinking wispy. So let's get a little pop of these in here. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Okay. Let's put this one in. Okay, how about a little bit of white? Maybe right in here. I'm gonna bring that in. I like these pop in like this is a little. We're gonna do our own little garden here. Oh Lord, what is this? Like, you ever find one of these little things, guys, and you're like, it's a rubber foot off of something, and you don't know what it goes to? I wonder if it's from my glue pot. I don't know. I don't think so. Well, we'll be wobbling along on something. Oh my gosh. Y'all, if you like this project, you would love to come join us at our Floral Bunny Workshop this week, where we are going to make wreaths with bunnies. And we're working with all these foam bunnies that are exclusive to our website. We have several different colors. And we're going to be jazzing them up, not only to make that wreath right over there. We're going to teach you how to make that step by step. And not just like today where I'm making it. I'm going to teach you the floral design principles that I'm using every time I put something in a wreath. So you can start to hear Keleas in your head every time you design. And it will help you get better organically at what you're doing. So you will know what to do by practicing without me even having to show you. But that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday this week. So I don't want you to miss it. Do I have any more white? Yeah, my glue pot is right here. I was worried that it was wobbling around, but it seems okay. It seems okay. All right, let's put these in next. Oh. This one I'm going to put up a little bit higher. Who thinks they're going to be a winner in the new workshop? Who thinks they're going to be one of the first people to, or who's competitive and wants to win? I know we've got a lot of those. A lot of those lovely competitive folks in our group. I saw them signing up. We'll see if any of them are going to be there. It's so funny. They're so cute. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we've got little pockets of white hopping in there. That looks really cool. I love that. Right, you forget where that foot is, Claudette, don't you? I understand. All right, now let's come in here. This is our main bush that we started with. So I want to get this placed in, and then we're going to pop in a little bit of more of that yellow. Miss Grace is, Jessica is, and Stella says she hopes so. Me. You guys are great. Y'all are great. Well, you know, we're going to spread around as much love as we can to all of y'all. That's one of the things I love to do. I love to give back to those who support me and treat you extra special. Yay, Sandra! We're going to have fun. Okay, I'm going to come into the top now, and we're going to keep placing these in. Now, remember, if you can see the glue, this is real important that you catch it now and cover it. I don't not like grease glue strings showing. I don't like glue. You can see the shininess of the glue, so you got to make sure you've got it covered. So I'm going to pop this one in here. This one's got a little bit of white. Let me go with a little less white up there. Oh, here's a good purple one. Mainly because I've got a big piece of white here. Let's bring a little bit different color to the back. So I'm going to put this one in. Oh, you like the extra discount? Oh, Carol's like, dropping hints. Carol, I can't tell you everything. It's a secret. I like to keep you surprised. Hey, Carla! 2 in a row. Carla, I helped ship your big order today that went out. I helped pack it. Mm-hmm. Actually, I did the label. I can't take all the credit. I did the label this morning. And hopefully FedEx picked up properly. I didn't get any notifications that they didn't, so fingers crossed. We've had some new FedEx drivers, and the first day the poor driver got there, he said, "Do I take all of this?" And I'm like, "Yes, you take all of this." Thanks, Linda. Okay, let's see. I've got a little more white and purple and yellow. I'm just trying to watch. I'm filling in with this because I'm using this not only like a filler flower, but a greenery both. So I need to have a little bit of both. Let's put a little bit more white down here at the bottom. So if you haven't ever done that, when you take a bush apart, you really got to think about where you're putting it back in and what kind of clusters you're making with it. They're real easy just to tear apart, but have to have a plan when you go back in. Right? Just, you're the boss. And you claim that you did it, right? Yay, Teresa! Jack says, do you find separating the moss ahead of time is best? It can be. Now, I will tell you, my sister always would do that. When Charlie was making wreaths with me to sell, she liked to have her little pieces of moss ready to go. Now, me, I just pull a little and just wad it and go. But she liked to have hers ready to go, so it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I just pull them here. Now, it looks awkward because I have to stand off to the side, but if I was just standing here in front, that all would be happening with my left hand, right hand, and I'll try to keep all the mess in my bucket. So there's my moss bucket, and I just keep it under my wreath stand. That just works the best for me, but Charlie always made her balls first, so that may be what you want to do. It's whatever floats your boat. Do I have any more of those? Oh, I've got 2 more right here. I tell you, I'm in the corner. I got to get out of the corner over here. Aw, thanks, Carol. You're so sweet. I'm sure you will. Monica, it'll be coming soon. You guys, and what I did is I put a video up in the workshop for y'all talking about supplies, so go check that if you haven't seen it, okay? All right, let me separate this one. Gosh, this is pretty, guys. Let's bring this one kind of underneath. I like how we kind of went way off the base on this. I think that's gorgeous. And when you get a flower like this, this isn't a cherry blossom. It's a peach blossom. It looks like kind of like a cherry blossom. But when you get a flower like that, if you can utilize the depth of it, it's a winner. It's totally a winner. Yeah, you could sign up for the workshop just right below. We don't have links over here on TikTok, so if you want to sign up over here, it's floralbunnyworkshop.com. And it's happening this Thursday. It all has replays. You do have to be on Facebook for it, though, because it's done in a Facebook group, okay? Marcy, in Design School, just go into the Design School, and it's under announcements for Design School members, but anyone can join the workshop. You don't have to be a Design School member to join. Anybody is welcome. It's a great way to see how our class works and kind of the fun things we do all year long in our design school. Okay. All right, I want to show you how woodsy it's looking. Look here, guys. Filling in. Look how pretty. Ah, it's so pretty. Love that. Check it out over here. Look. Oh my gosh, y'all. Woo, you're just getting into more florals. Fantastic. Come hang with us anytime. Of course, here, our design school opens up twice a year, and we have workshops different times throughout the year, but they're a good way to come in and get a kind of a taste of it. All right. Now let's see if we still like our bow. This is a bow we made a few Wednesdays ago, or last Wednesday I was out of town, so the Wednesday before. So there's the bow we're thinking about putting on. So I think I'm cool with it. I still like it. Let's go ahead and put this on, and then we're going to decide how much more florals. So when you see an item that's protected on our website, it means it's being either saved for our workshop or it's being saved for our design school students. So with supplies being so limited, we had to protect our supplies for our workshop and our supplies for our design school members. So we had to do that with our 60919, and we also had to do that with our bunnies for this workshop and the supplies. So if you see something protected, it's just because it's for our members in our community who are design school members. Yes. Oh, you love it? I think it's going to be pretty. Now, we're not done. We're just getting the bow in. And then we've got to work in around this bow. It's real important that your bow looks cohesive with your design and you're able to mingle it in. It's a big deal to me to break the planes of things. It's a huge deal to me. So you're going to see me do that a lot. That's just the way I prefer to design. And I'm going to teach my strengths because these are things I've sold thousands of and sold for many years. I've been doing this for 25 years. And I did craft shows for a living for 17 years all over the country, selling floral wreaths and other products. And so that's just what I love to do. Look how pretty that is in there. Ooh, it's popping that pink. Popping that pink. Oh, this is when we added that cool check. Our Harlequin. Mmm, yummy. Betty, do we have some bunnies? Yeah, we still have some bunnies in stock. Nicole is going to do a post. I don't know if she's done it yet with in the workshop to show you exactly what's left bunny-wise. So you can go pick out. There's still several colors left. Yeah, so the workshop is all virtual. I'm sorry, it's all online. You don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it's delivered to you via a Facebook group. Great question. Yes, it's all online. You come to it virtually. You can watch the replays, join us live. You get recorded content as well as live content in the workshop. It's all delivered in a Facebook group. So if you're here on Facebook, it's real easy. You'll just ask to join the group once you've signed up, and we'll get you approved. And it all starts on Thursday. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so if a lot of items are sold out for the workshop, you don't have to worry because I'm going to cover the main project using some other supplies. So you will have a recorded version of the main project and you'll have an alternative version of the main project. One of the things you're going to learn in the workshop is how to substitute different colors into our recipe and different textures. So every time I'm in a workshop, I'm making sure you're learning some type of floral skill that you can take back to your design journey and implement it into whether you have a business or you just make things for yourself or you just want to get better at making florals. Maybe you've done a lot of mesh wreaths and you're ready to go into the floral portion of it and you want to know, hey, how do I start this? How do I do this? That's the kind of stuff you're going to learn in our workshop. And that's also how I teach in design school. It's literally step by step. So no matter if you're a beginner or an expert, you can go to the part that you need the most help with. Okay, I'm going to lay the yellows out here. I do have 3 of these purple pink alliums. I don't know if we'll use them. We'll see. Yeah, I know we still have several colors available of the bunnies. I think we're sold out of 2 colors or something like that. So there's still a lot. And we're going to be playing with the big ones and the little ones. So there's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And plus we got all these fun flowers we're going to be playing with. So you're going to come out of there with several ideas to implement for your next project. Okay, I'm going to put a little yellow in here, just a little pop coming in there, and then I'm a little bit higher piece up the top. I love that in there. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. Let's put these in. I like that these are so long. Sometimes florals do not come as long as I want them, and I love the length on these. Oh, yes. Gorge. How about one more out the front over to that side? And these have all those little leaves. Thanks, Kim. I think it's turning out really great. Now, wildflower wreaths, I had a viral wildflower wreath a few years ago on our Etsy store. And it was funny. I was presenting at Wreath Makers Live how to mass produce this products. And it was funny. I actually had a viral wreath, so it was perfect. While we were doing content, we had something go viral, so we had to really had to mass produce a lot of it. Debbie, you think the alliums are too big for the wildflowers? Yeah, I don't know if we'll put them in or not. We'll play with them. I like that they're like a compact color. We can see if we still want them or not once we get to this part at the end. We may want them, or we may just go with what we got. Because I like that this beautiful bow is kind of the star of the show right now. And sometimes, and we've talked about this in design school a little bit about, hey, how do I know, who's the star of the show? Is it the florals or is it the bow? And, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's one or the other. So you gotta play the game. You do. All right, I've got one little piece of greenery left here. I'm going to use, this is from our original bush. And I'm going to use that right up here by the white flowers at the top. Kind of spread these. This is such a cute spray. We're making this one, Karen, on the 18-inch. You could scale this down and do it a 14-inch grapevine. She's asking about the size of the grapevine, guys. This is an 18. I've been on an 18 kick lately. I go back and forth. You never know what Keleas going to be doing. Okay, I need a little yellow coming down. I'm going to find my longest piece. Let's put this one popping out the bottom. So guys, we're going to be texting out the text list. Jump on, the supply list. Jump on our text list if you're not there already. The link is at the top of this post. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, you're going to want to go to textclee.com to sign up. Hey, Debbie, thank you. I just want something different, you know. Got to change it up sometimes. Okay, this little yellow is a little bit long here. I'm just going to take and separate this piece into 2 smaller ones. Oh, yay, Sandra. I'm glad you guys are liking it. Let's put this in behind these little wildflowers. You've got to do a little bit of detail around the bow because it seems to really show up right in this area because it's kind of a focal point, you know. Ooh, dang, y'all, it's pretty. Love it. Let me put a little more yellow up here. I'm just looking for my holes, if I've got any holes. Right in there, I think would be a good spot for that. I love that. Hey, Tamala. Hey, Linda. Good to see you over here. You guys are so sweet. Linda checking in on TikTok. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. All right, let's come in up above. Oh, I'm just kind of going to put this right up in here. A little bit higher. Uh-oh. Don't fall off. I don't have it on the hanger right now. There we go. Okay, I think it's pretty darn good. And I think we could put the allium in, but I think they are going to take it a little more purpley than I want because I really want the pink to stand out. So I think we did it. What do you guys think? Look at what we made! You guys, we're going to make a really fun door hanger, which we haven't done on one of these in quite a while. So I'm very excited about it. Y'all, we are getting ready to notify everyone on our list that we are live. So hold out, notifications will be going out in just a second. We're trying out a new notification system. So if you're not on it yet, don't worry. You can get on our list at textkelea.com and we'll be notifying you how to do that. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you. I'm glad you're on. Fantastic. Let me talk a little bit about the supplies we're going to use tonight for this project. First of all, we're starting off with a really pretty sign, okay? And this is a wooden sign, and it says, "A beautiful garden is a work of okay, sorry. I know it's reversed on TikTok, but a beautiful garden is a work of the heart, is what it says here, okay? And the beautiful sunflowers are in the background, and we're going to use that as our inspiration for this design. So yesterday on our live sale, we had this gorgeous sunflower, and it's kind of the same color. It's got the yellow and the orange combination. So it's a perfect mix for us to use in there. You need a couple little pieces of floral foam. We're going to use that to secure to our base. Now, I want to show you the greenery we're going to use because we want to get, this is a really pretty wispy look on here. And we want to utilize that too in our design. I'm going to pull up you guys' comments and see if they're working. My iPad had died. And let's see if I can respond to you as well. But then I picked out, y'all, a filler flower with a beautiful muted green. Oh gosh, I love this. So this is yellow. It's going to pull the yellow and the orange combination out of the sunflower. And I've got a little bit in the background right here. Perfect, you guys. I see y'all. So that's going to be our filler. Hey, David, good to see you. Hey, Sheila. Okay, I've got to have a twig because, you know, we got to have twigs everywhere we go. And the other thing I'm going to use is our gorgeous fishtail fern. We're going to use that for our greenery just because I want it super wispy. All right, so those are our supplies we're going to use. Oh, and we made the bow on Bow Wednesday. Good to see you, Kim. Good to see you, Teresa. Hey, Loretta. Jeanette's checking in from North Carolina. Look how pretty this one is. Thank you for the share. You're awesome. This is a beautiful sunflower ribbon we mixed in that jute. So if you missed that on Wednesday, you guys, if you need the link to our other videos, let us know. They're up on YouTube and Facebook for replay. If you're watching on TikTok, you can go check the replays there. Okay, so let's get going. Hey, guys. I love you too, Heidi. Yay! Spreading the love. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We have been. It's been a busy day around here. Like every day, but super busy. Okay, so this already has a hanger on the back. A sawtooth hanger right in the center. So when you're going to design this type of piece, you need to think about the weight. Because you can't put a bunch of weight on the left and not balance it off on the right. I hope that makes sense. Or it'll just be, yeah, not what you thought, because it's going to be tricky to hang. Hi, Susan. Glad you're here. So I like to use a little Gorilla Glue on here. And we're going to go opposites. Gorilla Glue, I usually just take and mix that with a little hot glue on top. And basically the hot glue will set it up first, and then the Gorilla Glue will hold it for the long term. Okay, Brenda, fantastic. Hey, Casey. Good, good, good. We're getting it down. Thank you so much. So here's my little electric skillet. Can you guys see it on TikTok? Let me bring it a little closer. It's an electric skillet with hot glue in it. And I don't pull triggers on glue guns because I do this for a living, so you'll see me always gluing and making things. So I don't pull any triggers because of a couple of hand surgeries I have. So I'll just use hot glue, and I'll attach this and dip it into my glue pot, okay? And you can take and scrape that off on the edge to get any excess off. But you do want quite a bit to hold it in place. Hi, Pat! Yay, Heidi! Oh, great. You just keep practicing. You'll get them. You will get them. All right, I squeezed a little bit too much glue on this one. So let me grab some moss. Anytime I have glue like overflowing the edge, I can grab it with moss, hopefully, before it hits the table. You better not hit my table, buddy. Look, I got to hold it at an angle. Nope, nope, nope. I should have scraped a little more off, y'all. No, you're not hitting my table. I'm talking to this glue about to drip down. Sorry if we're out of camera. Give me a second. I'll be back in a second. Ha ha! You little dripper. Not getting on my pretty white table. All right, we got it. So I use Spanish moss, guys, to cover glue and mechanics, especially when it's hot. All right. So those are in. So the main key here, the main takeaway from that part is opposite on that weight distribution. Because once you hang it, if it's too heavy on one side, you know what's going to happen. So let's get going with a little greenery in that background. Y'all, and if you are brand new, please say hello and welcome, of course. If we've never met before, I'm Keleas, and I teach floral design. I've talked to thousands of ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate all of you being here. This is my passion, what I love to do. I only work with silk flowers. I've been doing it 25 years, and done it for full time after being a teacher. I think for 17 now, a long, long time. So I enjoy it very, very much. Now, down here we're going to have a bow, so I know I'm going to want some greenery coming out from behind the bow. Hold your foam, because we just put it in there, and it's going to be a little slippery until it sets up. Don't drip, Pat. Don't drip. Hey, Minion from Ontario. Good to see you. Married to a fellow Canadian who's now pretty much a Texan. Hi, Jody. I'm glad you're here. You too. Hey, Melody. So I've got a couple pieces down here. Let's put a third piece kind of in the center. So I've got like a little bit of greenery action going here. I'm glad you like my filler flowers. Awesome. They're going to be so pretty on here. Hey, Carol. Okay, now let's put a little bit of greenery up here, a couple of pieces in just to get kind of started. And I'm going to go opposite. What I do in the top is what I'm going to do on the bottom. Okay, so they're going to be pretty matchy on this design as far as the florals go. Oops, I went right through the foam. I'll just cut that off. Okay, pretty good. I'm going to reserve a couple pieces of greenery we'll bring back in a minute. Oh my gosh, hey Dallas. I'm glad you're here. Sherry says, I'm new. I found you today and watched some of your videos. Oh, awesome, Sherry. So glad you're here. I love it. I'm so glad you're here, y'all. You know, you can always get on our text list at textklee.com, and we will let you know where we're at. And we'll get you on our notifications so you can see what we've got new, what we've got going. I hope I do inspire you. I'm so excited that I do, because that's what I want you to play with flowers. Real flowers, fake flowers, play in your garden. Whatever it is, decorate for the season. You know, have fun. This is what a lot of us in this community love to do. Okay, this filler flower bush has got a beautiful greenery into it. It's got like a Dusty Miller type leaf in here and some rosemary type that's really frosted and gorgeous. So when you tear them, they're really easy to work with. And once again, I talked earlier about pulling triggers and cutting because of overuse of my hands. I've had to have a couple surgeries. So I'm really, try not to cut a whole lot, just minimal. So you'll see me tear bushes apart if I can, okay? All right. Yes, good, good, good. Hi, Kim. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks. Thanks, Cass. So glad you're here. You guys are so sweet welcoming the newbies. We are so happy you're here. Now, Bo is going down here. I know I'm going to put some sunflowers up there. Let's take a second. I don't think we're going to use all the sunflowers, but let's get a few pieces of the filler in here and go in. Oh my gosh, Heidi says, I watch 4 hours a day of you. Awesome, Heidi. Awesome. Heidi's like, I am all in. I love it. Now, I don't mind this kind of covering the design. I call this like breaking the plane of the design. I like layers, and you'll see me cover up letters and words and have things come in front of other things, because I'm always talking about those 2Ds. And no, it ain't anything dirty. It's depth and dimension, y'all. Depth and dimension. Depth and dimension means more money for your work in the long run when you sell your pieces. So I want you to always keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 filler flowers at the bottom. At the top, and we're just going to use 1 at the bottom. So I'm going to put that in my leftover pile here. So if you ever see me design, you're going to see I keep a few pieces from each piece off to the side, because we'll want to embellish around some other sections of the design when we get to that point. So let's put this one at the top, and I'll just I'm going to go into the middle of the foam and just kind of overlap it just a little bit right there. Okay, cute. And that's got the pretty yellow. Now, let's get in here with some of the sunflower bush. So this is that gorgeous bush. It's got a mix of textures. Rhonda, I'm glad you're here too. It's been a while since you've tuned in. Well, I'm glad you're here tonight. That's awesome. You guys are always welcome back. I know sometimes you may not be hot and heavy. Life gets in the way, but when you're ready to come back, we are here. Now, this bush has gorgeous leaves, but they're kind of large scale for our design. So never be afraid to just trim them off and save them for something else. These are such a beautiful size and frosted leaf. I'm going to keep these because these are going to be great fillers for something else. Heidi says, and I want to praise your staff and you. With any questions, I've always got the response. Oh, I love it. This is awesome. We work really hard to have a great team who helps one another and supports you guys no matter what part of your journey you're in. Beginner all the way to expert, or just, you're here for the inspiration. We're here for you. Okay, check it out. I've got some different sizes. I'm going to cut those fairly short. Now, let's put the bow in just to take a look at that. Right, Casey, you've got the bag of leaves? Yes, ma'am. We can't get rid of them. Here's our bow. And this is our what you call the blast off bow. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. We did a little bit different technique with more tails yesterday on Bow Wednesday, but it's going to be going right here. Okay. It'll be going at the edge and popping in. So I think a couple of sunflowers, 2 down here would be fine. Let's see how many we get total. So if we could use down here at the bottom, maybe we use 2 of the medium ones and we keep the others, including the not open ones, for the top. So let's see. Let me cut these off fairly short. We're going to have all these heads short to the base. Hi, Danae. Good to see you from Beaumont, my neighbor over here. You guys, we are in Houston area. I live in Sugar Land, not so far from Beaumont for sure. Okay, I've got my leaves going over here to the side. Let me cut these off. And let's figure out our distribution. I personally don't like to have a whole lot left over after projects. I find it easier just to work them in, and then I don't have a bunch laying around later. To me, it's worth it. Now, if I know I can get a complete other project out of it, that's different. I will hold it. Oh gosh, this is looking cute already. So this is the largest sunflower. I'm thinking about putting it in the middle. Having maybe this one come out to the side. I'm just laying them here. They're not going into the foam yet. Anita, thank you. Here's just a green, not open sunflower, okay? And this is a larger one. I'm thinking about putting a larger one down here. How about the little partial open one there? I'm just sticking them. Just sticking. And then let's put this one on this side. I think that would work. Okay, so that'll be our plan right now. So let's get it going on. So we can kind of lay it out. Joan is checking in from South Carolina. Your aunt said to say hello? Well, hello. Danae, what is your aunt's name? Like, we can't be just saying, hello, Auntie. We can say that. But if she wants a shout out, be happy to give her one. We're just playing with flowers and having a good time. I'm trimming these all down short right now because we're going to use these kind of like the bow in there. Y'all, and we will have a whole supply list for this project on Keleas.com. When you go to Keleas.com, you'll click on supply list and it'll be right there just as soon as this video is done. Okay, the biggest one's going in. I've got it angled down slightly. Kim, can you believe how perfect that bow is? Hey, Peggy. How are you doing, Diane? Good to see you. So 1, 2, let's put the third one up at the top. All right, right in here. That's looking pretty good. Let me slide this down. We got a nice little cluster because we have no bow up here. Now, if you want to go, let's say you want to cut the budget back, you could do 2 bows. Or if you are in an area that's a no-zo bow, there are parts of the country who do not want ribbon. Younger generation is really not into ribbon either. You could do tighten this up a little bit, and you could use 1 flower bush to make this work on both sides, okay? Oh, thank you. Hi, Peggy. Hey, Mary. Thank you, Sue. Good to see you. You have been making some gorgeous stuff lately, Sue. As always. Hello, Miss Minnie Johnson. Good to see you. We're so happy you're hanging out with us tonight. Okay, we got a nice cluster so we got a mix of like a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow going, like a nice combo. Okay, let's go ahead and put our bow in down here. Hey, Irene. Hey, Bonnie. You're in Magnolia and it's hot. Did you guys get, you didn't get any rain. Dang it, Bonnie. And it was so nice and cool here in Houston today. I was hoping maybe you'd get some. We didn't get any either, but you know, it was 81 and that was like wonderful. So when we make these bows, guys, we have the cable tie in the back. But in this situation, I'm going to be pushing it to the foam, so we're going to switch that out to a floral pin. Hey, Anna, good to see you. The knee's doing good. Knee is doing good, recovering very well. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Kaya. Miss Moo is in the garage with us. She took a big nappy nap. Don't worry, I let Nicole know. She knows. You're all good. Don't worry about it right now. We'll do it tomorrow.
We're starting on the
I'm live with just everybody right now.
me and Dad are starting, but we already finished the small joint, like the small little things.
Okay, good. We'll do it tomorrow, Kaya.
Like hanging up. Yeah.
Oh, Kaya's working on her room right now, and she has got a shelf, guys, from IKEA they're putting together. I put glue on this. We're going to put this right into the foam. Good job, Kaya. All right, so the bow's going in. It's at an angle. Crazy, no bow? Yeah, those people have the no bow. Hard to believe. Oh my gosh. Some people don't like ribbon. Yeah, they don't. Georgie telling Moo hello. Thank you so much. We're going to trim down these two just a little shorter because I'm going to have these come in. David's close in Dyer, Tennessee. Oh, cool. Now, I'm going to put the unopened bloom, I think, down. And I'm kind of angling these to hold and cover up a bunch of that foam. Really cover it up, because then that's less moss I've got to come put in later. Oh gosh, that's super cute. We got nice angles on this one tonight. We got a big, beautiful sunflower. Right, they love bow, Mary? Or they're no bow? Joellen, all this stuff's available on Keleas.com. So we'll have a link for you. The sign, the florals, everything. Okay. Now, I've been feeling good. I've been feeling good. My physical therapy has been going really well. I feel a lot better since I got my booster shot the other day I was telling y'all about, and I just felt kind of crummy for a day, but I feel a lot better today. All right, now go back and grab the florals that we have left, okay? And we're going to take these and work in around this cluster up here. I feel like the bottom's pretty good. We might just add a little bit of filler flower down there. And what I'm going to do down here is we're going to add a little bit of this yellow. So just take and get a little glue on it. Come on right up in here. And push it in. There you go. And then put a little bit on the other side. You're loving it? Good, good, good. Okay. Let's put a little bit over here. And if you guys haven't worked with sunflowers before, they work great as transition pieces for people's homes that go from summer into fall. So they can leave this up early fall until they're ready to do maybe a little bit more for Halloween or like really pop the pumpkins out. But this would be gorgeous with pumpkins just sitting on the porch right with it. There's no need to, you know, go great together. It would be one of those things in addition to, you know, they could leave it up. Okay, now let me grab these, and we're going to work a little bit in tighter to the base. So this is a piece of that little fun rosemary. We'll just put a little glue on it. Now, I don't quite have enough pieces left, but I don't want to cut up and add more. So what I'm going to do is you're going to see me just cut a few pieces out of these clusters, and we're just going to have them a little bit shorter into the base. Okay, I'm going to do that all the way around. This is kind of like a little detail work. Take a few of the pieces that are working way out, trim them, and kind of have them work in coming out of the flowers. And don't worry, we're going to have twigs too, but we're just starting. Oh, hey lady! Thanks, Joellen! Thank you, Lori. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We've still got to get twigs in a few minutes, but we're starting with a little bit more of the greenery and the filler in here. So I'm going to push that into the foam, and make sure you got a little bend on it. Oh, I just heard thunder. Whatever. Thought we'd missed our opportunity. Hi, Triple D. Girl, I know that boot needs a shower. I do. Oh, it might be fireworks, guys. That may be fireworks I'm hearing. Somebody might have been out shopping and got fireworks already. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. We have this just cupped just perfect in here. I'm going to take and cut this one a little shorter, and we'll put it more into the base. Yeah, we'll have the whole supply list for the project. It'll be on Keleas.com, and then you'll just click supply list, and it'll be the newest one right there, okay? You're just going to go off the home page. All right, Sue, I'm glad you're here. How exciting. Okay, let's get a little bit more of this piece. I'm going to break this one down to 2 pieces, and we'll just fill it right in. All right, then we're going to do some twigs, because on this design that's on the board, there are beautiful twigs coming down. So I'd love to take that look out to the front. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, doesn't it look great where the sign just matches the flowers just perfectly like that? I love that. Let's have that come out. Thanks, Danae. Thank you, Peggy. I'm glad you guys are liking it. Okay. So I'm happy with it filled in. I will look from underneath. Anywhere that you can see foam, we'll pop in some moss later. And you might even want to hang it when you get to that point. Okay. Now, let's take these and trim them. And let's see where we can add these. Now, these are those fully wired twigs, which makes me so happy. Yeah, Bonnie, you could do that anytime. Just trim some and sneak it back. I usually just take something from the back just to keep, just kind of fill it in a little bit. Because I like things super wispy, but sometimes we need to take and, you know, come back a little bit. I'm glad. Try that. Okay, let's take and curl these up. Let's do a few curls. So if you can get twigs that are fully wired to the tip, this is so fun. Yes, just check out the links in the descriptions on the posts. They always have what you guys need. Whether you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching, Facebook, TikTok, they have exactly what you need. Okay, let's start off at the top. Now, see this gorgeous brown? It's the same color as the board. Boom. That's so fun. Laura, what are we doing this weekend? I know this is not going to sound exciting. We're WORKING. Because we are going to be out of town in August, and there's a lot that has to be done to be gone for our trip to, we'll be heading up to Ontario to visit family. Oh gosh, I love that in there. So you have to get really ahead. So I have to film a lot of videos, and also we have all the new shelving that's arrived at the warehouse that has to get up. So it's kind of exciting. That's kind of fun work too. But hopefully it just stays nice and cool. Danae says, how you love it when I add twigs? Oh my gosh, yeah, I always love twigs. Y'all should watch my TikToks about twigs. I put crazy, like, you know, crazy music to them, like I'm rocking out with my twigs. All right, I got a nice chunk of twigs up here. Oh gosh, those are killer. Now let's get in here and do some at the bottom. I'm feeling it. We're gonna curl these. I love when I can control the curl. Kim, it'll be a really nice trip. Yes, it will. Gonna go see my father-in-law and mother-in-law and all of my cousins and that. It will be just lovely. Ooh, look at that one. So yes, we are working. I'm sure we'll try to mix in some pool time or something like that to relax a little. Let's go in here. Just kind of under the bow, popping out. I want to make sure I'm going into that foam really nice. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Let's have that kind of cruise out from the bow here. And you can stretch those out. And this is going to go down there. Dallas, you learned something again tonight? Yay! Good, good, good. I love that you learned something, and I hope that I inspire you to play with something different that you've never done. And thank you guys who shop with us and support us that way. You know, when you shop with a small business owner, it allows me to still do content like this. That is free for you to watch, and we appreciate your business because it lets us continue to show you how to use these beautiful things and sell them. And whether that's one roll of $5 ribbon or it's a big, massive order to make a big, fancy project, I want you to know we always appreciate you. Look at this. Stunning, y'all. It's really gorgeous. You guys get a good look at it. I know the words are backwards for you guys on TikTok, but it is... Oh, my ribbon went around my Keleas. It turned out really, really, really gorgeous. And it's not that difficult to make. Just find some gorgeous florals, a beautiful sign, and just take your inspiration from that background and you can rock it out. Well, Marinos, we're going to make the cutest little bee wreath. Are you ready to buzz with us? Let's get going. We're working with the smaller of 14-inch wreath base to start off our whole design. And the first thing we want to do is kind of create the space we want to use up. And even though this is a small base, I'm going to go way off of it. So start with your greenery. We're going to pull that out right here. And we're going to use our exclusive Keleas.com fishtail fern. I love that I can push this up to totally make this piece a little more clustered at the bottom, but wispy at the top. It's one of the great advantages of using this type of greenery. We're going to cut these down and start to shape out our base. So I'm just going to use my wire cutters, cut those off the stem, and we're going to create what we call our perimeter. When I'm teaching in design school, sometimes we create the perimeter first, sometimes we'll do it with other florals, but today we're going to do it with our, right here with our fishtail. So I'm going to start going way off the design to kind of create this beautiful wispy look. See how far I'm going off? Way off. So we're going to start at the top and work our way around. Let's go back a little bit here and place these in. Now, I'm getting a liberal amount of glue on there, but if I don't have enough glue, it won't stay. So I've got to have a lot of glue. If I can see the glue, when I push it in, let's say it compacts in there, we use that Spanish moss to hide that and also make sure that you can't see it, okay? And it holds it tighter. So here you see a lot of that glue. I've got my bucket of Spanish moss here. I'm going to pull that off. Today we're using the chartreuse green color of our Spanish moss, and all that will be on the supply list for you, okay? So we started at the top, and now we're going to come here down to the bottom, and I'm going to also cascade a lot off the bottom. So we're going to do that right here as well. So don't be afraid to kind of have a smaller base and work off a smaller base even to make a larger project. All right, so I used 6 of these pieces. I got a great shape started. You can see it kind of coming together. It looks excellent. So now our next move is going to be to use our filler flower. So let me move our little bees out of the way. And our filler flower is this. It is a great wispy berry. And so it's going to provide our main color. It's not our main flower. We've got a different item to work as our main flower because we're using those cute bees. So I'm going to take, and we're going to go ahead and shred this dude down. So when you separate a bush like this, one of the nice things about Keleas.com products is I make sure what we carry is easy to break up and work with. Okay, so you see how I separated it? Just tear those down now. Just tear these down into little pieces. And really quickly, look how fast we tear this into separate sections. And now I'm going to cut these babies down by 1 inch, okay? 1 inch stems on everybody and clean that up. Okay, and they're all cleaned off. Pull all this junk out of here. We don't need this. We can save that stem if you want. You can recycle these and use these for picks for other pieces in your designs later, okay? So let's start putting these in. Actually, I need to break up both bushes. Let me just go ahead and do that first. So take your longest pieces that you have, and we want to use those out in between our greenery. So we're going to swirl it here in the glue. And I'm going to go way out to that perimeter. So make sure you're going into that grapevine where it's going to hold it tight. Use a good amount of glue. If you get excess paper, pull that off because we don't need that grabbing our glue. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Let's rock this one way up here and put a little moss in. If you start to do this moss technique, you'll kind of learn. It can help hold things in like a looser design. So play with that. That's something I teach in design school. You guys can use that also. If you haven't jumped in our class yet, we would love to have you. Every week I'm teaching in there a new design and always skills and decoration tips and tricks for you to use. Not only if you have a business, but if you want to create things for your home. And we're going to teach you the design principles we're using, whether that's color, placement, texture, depth, all of those things are super important in design. So you're going to see us utilize all of that together. Okay, so I've got a nice placement at the top here. Look at this. And then I'm going to come back and work on the bottom now. We're going to come into the bottom. I'm going in between these. You can see here, take a look how I made sure that these are kind of moving up. Nobody's really flat when you go from the side. Do you see how they're coming out? That's really important. That'll help you get better depth on your designs. Now, we are going to put these pieces off to the side. We'll use those after we get our bow in. We need to get our main floral in, and we're using two different things for the main floral. We are using this Wreath. It's like a thistle type bush, and it's beautiful grass. So this is going to be our main floral, and then we've got to put the bees in. But I want to place this before the bow. Okay, so let me place the wreath over here so we get a good idea of how this is looking, top to bottom, and we want to equally place these in. I'm going to take and tear these down. Once that bush is all broke down into these smaller pieces, we're going to start and putting these right where we put the filler flowers. So it's really super easy for you. Just place them right next to it, and then you can bend them where they go a little bit above or a little bit below that. Swirl it in. We're going to go in here. And make sure you got some movement on these. We want these to be in different planes of the design. Let's put 3 at the top. Okay. Popping these right in. Fantastic. Now let's go to the bottom and work down here. And we're going to have the bow kind of cascading into this section, so don't go too tight into here. We call this the bow zone in design school. That is the transition point for your design. And hold this little guy off because we'll use him in a minute. So we did the bow on another video, and I'll be happy to teach you how to make the bow as well. Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. If you're not into the bees and you don't want the cute part of it, and the bees and the bow is just enough for you, that's fine. So I told you, this is a nice big bow, and you guys, if you're looking for a wreath to make to stock your Etsy shop, these type of designs are great. I've sold thousands, literally thousands of this type of design. And they're fairly quick to manufacture if you're looking for some that are easy, great shop fillers for your Etsy shop. Okay, I cable tied that in nicely. Now go ahead and spread apart those loops. Get these tails going and bring them on down. Just keep bringing them on down. And then I'm going to curl these little ones up right here. Or you could leave them straight. Either way, we've dovetailed them, so either way will work. And then I'm going to curl the little outside ones and bring this one in. Look how cute. Isn't this precious? I love it. I love it. Now, we are not done because we want to add that whimsy. So grab your bees because these guys are going to be flying out of here, and I think they're so precious. So cut these off the big stem, and the nice thing is they're going to cut off into 3 little sections, which is perfect. Because basically you're going to have one above and one below. And let's take these, spread them apart. Look how cute. Make them kind of go different directions. I think that's fun. Their little wings are moldable, so you can take and make them do fun stuff. And since they're on these curls, you can whip them around. So we're going to use this first one kind of up to the top, above the bow in here. So just tuck the bow out of the way and tuck that in. Let's put a little moss. Oh, stinking cute. Once you hang it up on your door, guys, you can manipulate the bees too to kind of look at you or be tucked in around, however you want. Isn't that precious? Now let's come to the bottom. I'm going to scoot that up a little bit. Now we're going to go on the bottom. Now on the bottom, I don't love for the bees to be upside down. So what I usually do is once we put it in, we'll just give them a little twist because they're going to all be upside down. And bees can fly in all kind of different directions, but we want to make sure we tuck them in. So I'm going to pull this up a little. Make sure we're getting that in good. There you go. And then I just twist their little heads so they're flying down instead of flying up. Just give them a twist, rotate them around, and then they don't have to be going all the same way. This one could be. It could be coming back. Whatever you prefer. It's so cute. These look like the cutest little bees. Oh my gosh. All right, now we've got those pieces we put aside. And we're going to work with those right now to finish out these parts. So this bee, I want him to kind of go out here from the outside of the bow to kind of finish out my shaping on this side, right in here. And you're just going to tuck him in. And then you've got a great shape working around the bow here at the top, okay? Now, the other things we're going to do are going to be right in tight to the bow. So let's start off with we have a little bit of greenery left, okay? Pull that aside. And then we have our cute little berry sprays. We have 3 or 4 of these. You're going to use these in holes. So because right now I can see a hole right here by that bee. So we're going to layer that on top of that bee stem, okay? So curl this around. So your last few steps, you're kind of cleaning up. You're cleaning up the mechanics of what's going on here. Look at this. Oh my God, so pretty. And move her forward. All right, and let's come to the bottom. Do the same thing. We're going to run right out of the bottom of the bow. Now, when you do your project here at the end and you're cleaning up, you could find a number of different places you need to put things, okay? They may not necessarily be where my holes are. So that's why I always reserve just a little bit of the supplies for the end, just to double check the holes. You know, 1 or 2 pieces. You can always yank something out and replace it in, but it's a little bit easier to save some and then just pop them in. I'm going to put this last one in tight to the bow here in the middle. And then we're going to layer that piece of greenery up in here also. Look how pretty these are. And I love that they're moving up. And make sure you don't squish that bow too much. Fluff it out. Okay, now pull this dude down and make it nice and fluffy. Okay, how cute is that? Keep the stem a little long. You got to get in behind the bow. And we're going to use this just at the top here. Like the bees are going in the grass. They're trying to get to all those little yellow flowers, get some pollen. And so that creates a little depth, guys. The green in the back, the green in the front. Once again, you know, tying in the depth. The last little bitty thistle in here, trim that stem down. And we're going to use that either up or down. I'm going to use it down right in here. So that one will tuck in right behind the bow. And we don't have a single piece of supplies left. We used it all in our wreath. That's something also I'm big on. I don't want to have things left over for my projects. I want to use everything I'm working with, consume it to make something beautiful, just like this. Oh my gosh, look how cute she is. You see her? Oh my goodness. Do you want to make this cottage English garden wreath with me? Let's do it. On this wreath base, we're going to use these beautiful daisy pick. They're kind of a spray because they're larger. They have 3 pieces on here that you can easily take apart. It has a nice leaf in here as well as like a filler flower, and it has the main flower. So the combination of all that together really works. And this is going to be our brighter color pink, and we're going to use a couple of those in there. Now, this is something so fun. This is a new green berry we just got in, and it has a killer leaf. It's going to work like a greenery too because it's green, but also a filler flower. So that's going to pull out this beautiful green color that's in our main ribbon we're using. And you can see how pretty that combo is together. But together, we're going to mix these two, and that's going to pull out the pretty green and, of course, the pink. And in order to soften the pink and give it that cottage vibe that we're going for, then we're going to come in at the end with these mini roses. These are called boho roses. And they have like a little baby's breath in there too, which is a lot of fun to go together. So these will be our main pieces we're using for this wreath and our 2 ribbons. So we're going to get started in creating our base. Of course, you'd want to put your hanger on first, and we can insert the hanger video right here so you know how to put on the hanger, and you can put your own hanger on right on the top of your wreath, okay? And after your hanger's on, we're going to start off with these, and these are going to tear apart into sections. Now, when you get your supplies, no matter where you get them from, you always have to manipulate them because everything comes, you know, compact for shipping, and you've got to open it up. We call that shaking hands in design school, where we teach hundreds of students every week how to take and make floral designs on their own and learn the techniques so they can make beautiful pieces at designer level. So we've already done that with these. We've shaken hands with them. We've said, hello, nice to meet you. And then we're able to take and trim and clean these up. So with the last piece, I always like to cut it a little bit long a little longer, and keep these 2 pieces shorter. Now, once you tear them off, you do have to clean up the little nasty edges because you will just be fighting going in. You will notice I do not use a pick machine. You will never see me use one. That's because I've been doing this 26 years, and a pick machine is good to use when you have really cheap florals that you need to have a good stem, and it's quick. But pick machines jam all the time. They also are very sharp and dangerous, and then you really don't want to use picks and wreaths anyway. So if you learn how to buy better supplies that have stronger bases and foundation, you can eliminate pick machines from your whole business, and then you have extra money to spend on other floral supplies because they're expensive and the maintenance of them never stops. So instead of getting frustrated with that, just learn from Keleas right now how to omit that and never have to use that. Now when you're trimming down these, make sure you keep these nice wires, guys. These are perfect for hangers, okay? So you can save these. You'll have to kind of either retape this with floral tape if you need a longer piece, or trim it off. But these are great wires for excellent hangers. And then if you do craft shows and you want to sell your wreaths there, make sure you put hangers on your wreaths, especially if you want to sell on Etsy, because customers need to know how to hang these things up when they arrive, because that box is going to come upside down and you are going to die the first time they put a review up of your wreath and they say, "We love it, 5 stars," and it's upside down. You are going to, I know this because it's happened to me. So I've learned, just go ahead and get that sign on, hanger on there so they know. Get the hanger on that wreath. Okay, we're going to start off with our shaping this out. The first thing you got to do on your design is decide where you want that bow. And for me, I'm going to put that bow low and to the left. That's my go-to position for my signature C-shaped wreath that I make. And that's one of my best sellers, so you're going to see me make this all the time. So we're going to start putting these in. Now the other thing I don't have on my table yet I need to grab is my Spanish moss. So I'm going to use Spanish moss. This is our chartreuse color Spanish moss, found on Keleas.com. I use this to cover glue. So you never want to see your glue or your mechanics. So that's going to be a little bit out of camera, but I want you to know you're going to see me bringing it over in a second. So let's start to shape this up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come over, load this with glue, come up high, and press that in. Oh, maybe press it in into the wreath, just like this, and start shaping up my design. I got to come over just a little bit here, a little bit more room. On that glue, you're going to go ahead and take and cover that right away. You just use the glue like a little sandwich between the wreath and the moss, and it helps create a stronger foundation for everything to go in. So we're going to start to shape this out. Every time you go in that glue pot, you want to hold that like a pencil, swirl it in, and start shaping out your base. Now in design school, we teach a lot about the principles of threes and shapes and lines. So you're going to see me doing some of that here today and bringing this together. But that way, when you learn the principles when you're in our class, you can use those for every season. You can start to develop your own designs using the principles that you learn. Like right now, we're rocking out patriotic. We have done Mother's Day. Of course, we did Easter earlier in the year. And we're always working ahead. So like we will be starting fall coming up in June and Halloween. So it's a great time to join our class so you don't miss any of the seasons. We have a portal set up at KeleasDesignSchool.com, and you guys can always go over there and check it out, take a look and see what it's about to sign up for our class. So I've got the top done. Now I'm working on the bottom. We're going to start putting these in. Don't forget, I've got to work on my shape. I've got to think about how I'm putting these in at each section and spacing them out. I'm going to work a little backwards right to where I'm going to put the bow. We call the bow the transition point area. Generally, sometimes we don't have bows in our pieces, and I'm a fan of that too. I like both. And some of the younger generation is no bows, and the West Coast isn't so in love with ribbon, but the East Coast still likes it. So it just depends on what's trending there, and those things can change quickly, of course, really quickly. So I'm going to put my final piece right down here. So I've kind of got a great shape starting. And basically I'm mirroring what I'm doing on the top and what I'm doing on the bottom. So I've got it shaped out. I'm going to push that in good. Yes. And make sure these leaves are facing forward. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is leaves backwards. I hate when greenery won't stay forward. So I try to carry pieces that allow the leaves to be manipulative because they're wired. So that's the kind of products you're going to find on Keleas.com. All right, let me pull these off to the side, and we'll have our bow in just a minute, but I'm going to pull this off. So we're leaving that little section intentionally open because that's where the bow is going to be going eventually. Let me scoot our glue pot over and let's get a little bit more room here. Okay, now we're going to use these boho roses as our final filler pieces. So these will fill in at the end. So this is going to work as what we call a filler flower also, but a greenery because it's in the green family. But it's so cool that it has a berry on it. Now these are long and wispy, which you can do, and you can keep this very romantic and long and wispy, which will go great with the cottage theme. So in order to do that, I'm just going to cut off a few branches here. And you may not want to use all of these, it just depends. I'm a big twig girl, so I like a lot of dramatic twigs coming out, adding the dimension. You may have heard me say before, dimension means more money in your pocket when you're selling pieces. Because you don't want to compete with the local big box store on wreath making. You want to be the next level. Because in theory, if you can have a better quality piece you make, you'll be able to charge more. And eventually you don't have to sell as many wreaths if they're priced right. You can make each piece, you know, a work of art. So let's start in with some of these longer pieces and shoot them right through the main sections of the wreath. So here's what we got so far, looking good. And I'm going to go right between there. That may be a little long, so if you feel like it's a little long, just take one little section off. Save that. We can use this in a minute. You can use all these pieces. You don't have to think you have to throw it away or something. No, we can save it. So I'm going to go right between. Very nice. Now I'm going to go up above to the top with this smaller piece. Now if you can't see the glue when you go in, you don't have to moss it. You're good. You can just let it go in. But if you can see the glue, you've got to cover it with moss. That's one of the things we don't want our mechanics showing ever. That's the detail part I was talking about earlier. You've got to pay attention to these details. So I'm going in my electric skillet. That's my glue pot that allows me not to pull triggers on glue guns. I don't pull triggers. I learned that lesson when I was younger. If you're going to sell thousands of wreaths, you cannot do thousands of trigger pulls. You just can't keep pulling and pulling that trigger, or you're going to end up having problems later. So you've got to make sure you use something like this electric skillet. So simple. So simple. And we have our favorite wreath making supplies link for you too on the blog. So if you need that link, let us know in the comments. We'll get back to you. And you can know exactly which one we use. Now, and when I'm doing high production and we are making wreaths to sell on Etsy, then we are using a larger skillet than this because I like to be able to put big things in there. Okay, I want you to see the difference. See the top? You see the dramatic pieces we added? That's adding the really, the elegance. And you've got the dimension. And you see that movement? The movement is what catches people's eyes. So when that's on someone's door and the wind blows, it looks real because it's moving. So keep that in mind as you start to create your pieces. How can I add depth and dimension and movement? All of that is key to being able to have a piece that is a little bit higher level design. Okay, let's start with our longer piece kind of coming out right out the middle, just like we did on the top. And we're going to come right through here. Beautiful. This one I'm going to run a little bit more in the background. I don't want these all in the background, like I want a few in the foreground, but I'm kind of working them around. And this one will be on the left. How cute are these? I'll put that one in there. Great. And then I need one more behind. And then what I'm going to do is I've got my little pieces we had a little while ago, and I'm going to save this one big piece. And we can kind of cut it down and use it to fill in spaces kind of more towards the front once we get our ribbon in. Okay, let's go behind the bow. And we'll bring that over here. Beautiful. And try to manipulate it where the leaves are forward if possible so you can see them. You can just rotate them around. Really pretty. Now, I've got a few pieces of the berries left. You want to hold on to those. That's something I teach, that we need to have pieces from the background work their way to the front. It's very important to not just cover things up, okay? So we've got a great shape started off. Look how pretty. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this. This is so pretty. That's the top. There's the bottom. Excellent shape. And let's get our bow in next, and then we'll be working around that bow. So we're cable tying this on right in that section that we left open. We call that the bow zone. I'm going to pull that tight to the base in this case. And once it's on there, you can manipulate it around and shape. Oh my gosh, look how soft that's just so beautiful. That adds this lovely softness. Now I want to shape it up where it's going to flow down. And these tails are going to work in this little hole right here. Rotate that to the center a little bit. There we go. Now, make sure you have to be the boss of your tails. Like, you can't just put it in and be like, I'm good. No, that won't work. You have to get in here. You got to curl them up and then use those gorgeous wires. Oh my gosh, that's so cute in there. I love how this ribbon does that. It does that little ringlet. Yeah, you're so cute. All right, let's go down with those. Beautiful, beautiful. And so now what we're going to do, you want to grab those boho roses, and we're going to soften all of this, and we're going to work a little more to the center. So this bush is already sectioned out into 3 sections for you. So just go ahead and take them out like this and leave about 1 inch to 2 inch stem. And we can break them down more from here. So let's start in with one right above the bow. That's like an important space. We can really pop this pink. So I'm just getting, when you see me spinning, I'm getting rid of that glue string. I hate glue strings, but you can control it by spinning your glue on itself. Oh my gosh, see how that picks up, this baby's breath picks up the brown in the bow. Boom, that's pretty. Beautiful. So we're going to use 2 pieces above the bow. This bush is killer because it is like, it fills in the holes in your piece like magic. And because they're all on one stem, it's really beautiful. See how pretty that rolled in? And you can take and manipulate these forward because they are nicely wired. Now my last piece is going to go below the bow. So below the transition, right in the middle, I'm going to tuck that right tight to the bow. So make sure you pull those cool baby's breath forward because that's what's tying in that brown color. So when you're in design school, one of the nice things is I have supplies and projects planned out way months ahead of time, years ahead of time actually. So that way everything coordinates together, and we try to teach trending styles and designs. That way your pieces will be able to sell for you if you're a seller. And we've got lots of people in the class though who do not sell, they just love creating. So don't feel like the pressure you have to be a seller to be in our class. It's fine if you aren't as well, because some people just want to make their house beautiful and they've always wanted to learn these tips and tricks. So now we're going to take these berries that we have left and we're going to cut them down into cute little sections. So when I'm making cuts, I'm looking at the cut here. So that way I get a berry and a couple leaves and on a short stem. Okay, so you can't just go in there and start chopping or you're going to waste cuts. See how I'm cutting there? So that could be a berry and this could be its own little cute stem. So pay attention when you're doing your cuts and you're going in. So now we're going to use this like a little filler. It's going to go in any holes that we missed as we're going around. Or if there's spacing issues, like there's a little bit of a gap between one thing to another, this is where you're going to fill in with these. Okay, so I'm going to take the ones that are a little choppy that we cut up that aren't quite as cute. We've got one that's really cute because it's got the little leaves and the twig. So you save that for the end, and you save this little berry one for the end. But you work these in and around the bow. She turned out this wreath design is not hard. It's a great beginner design, really. I'm going to go off to the side so that can pop out the side of that bow and fluff out this bow. Now I'm going to take this really cute one, cut this a little shorter, and we're going to go right into the middle of the bow. That's one of those detail zones you want to really think about when you're creating. Go right into the middle. Boom. I love you right there. You're beautiful. And then flip that leaf around. And then we got to get a little of this. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Now let's go down here to the bottom. I'm going to add a couple right here at the edge. Oh, this is so great. And when we do design school, I make sure that the wreaths, I generally make them standing on a wreath making board, and you get close-up view so you can get the great angles and seeing exactly how to create it. We made some great choices here with our ribbons and our florals, and putting this little bit of olive greenery in there that came on that boho bush gave us a little brown tones that picked up this ribbon, and the whole combo together is stunning, 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 stunning. So I hope you enjoyed making this with me. I can't wait to see you make your own, and I will see you next time, Bloomeritos. Bye, everybody.